Imagine you're a brilliant scientist tasked with programming a robot to travel back in time and protect a key historical figure. This feels like déjà vu. Stay until the end for a CTO-level recipe to write more flexible code and functions. Understanding the difference between a parameter and an argument is crucial, just like knowing what to tell your robot to guarantee it completes its mission successfully. Both are essential in the programming world, but they serve very different roles. By the way, while it's true that you might have argument with your spouse, parameters aren't always as obvious. When you are programming, whether a simple application or a complex mission for a captured enemy robot, you'd often need to perform slightly different tasks, like sending a robot to a different time or protecting various people. Here's where parameters come into play. Parameters are like placeholders in a robot's programming that define what type of instructions the robot can accept. They set the framework, what can be customized, what decisions need input. In our example, we want the robot to protect someone. So while parameters are placeholders, what goes into them? Arguments. Arguments are the actual values you provide to these parameters when you finally send the robot on its mission. In our example, we want the robot to protect someone, so we need to specify a value that defines a target in that placeholder. In other words, the argument to the target parameter could be Albert Einstein. While we're at it, maybe our robot is designed for many different types of missions, so the argument for the mission type could be protect. So parameters set the stage for actions, and arguments are the specific directions that start to show. When you input these arguments, the robot springs into action. If you've programmed everything correctly, you can send it to 1945 to make sure Einstein is safe. Depending on the specific argument it received, the robot will adapt its actions. The success of its mission depends on both the clear definition of parameters and the accuracy of the arguments you provide. Parameters are the questions asked. Arguments are the answers given. They work together to guide the behavior of programs, or time-traveling robots, in dynamic and flexible ways, allowing programmers to write versatile and reusable code. Code without parameters can't receive arguments and is, therefore, much less flexible. Go look at a block of code. Does it have the right parameters to be flexible? As much as possible, arguments should be passed, and global variables should be avoided, even if they exist. Here's the CTO level trick. To make your code even more flexible, you can pass global variables as arguments instead of just using them in a function. You'll have the same outcome, but now your function can be reused and is much more flexible. One another, if you don't want to change everywhere the function is called, you can put the global variable as the default argument. You could say run unit tests on it to guarantee it works.